This week on Inside Boulder News. For one night, Boulder's dearly departed will rise from their graves. Pro Street Mall unveils its 13th historic display panel. And the city lights up University Hill's alleyways. Welcome to Inside Boulder News, your source for all things Boulder. I'm Jocelyn Avendaño. Last month, the City of Boulder recognized October as Conflict Resolution Month. In an effort to support peaceful means of resolving conflict, the city is offering events and activities for the community on the principles and practice of conflict resolution. Counties, cities, and schools statewide are recognizing October as Conflict Resolution Month, and the goal is to promote constructive problem solving.
Finding peaceful methods of resolving conflict makes our community stronger, happier, more peaceful. Particularly in these times, we hope to encourage our community to take time to really listen to one another.
Throughout the month, the City of Boulder's Mediation Service, in partnership with the Boulder District Attorney's Office, is offering events and activities for the community to attend. The next event will be held on October 20th, and it will be a restorative justice open house.
Restorative justice is an alternative approach to crime, and it's a community-based process where we bring together an offender, the victim, community members to talk about what were the impacts of that crime on the human, what's the human impact.
During this event, attendees will hear real examples of restorative responses to crime in Boulder County and learn about ways they can become involved in the process of restorative justice.
It can be incredibly powerful for offenders to realize for the first time how they've affected those around them. And it's a process that builds empathy and healing. And a lot of times for victims, it is very transformative and healing for them to have a voice in the process.
The Restorative Justice Open House will be held on Saturday, October 20th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Boulder Public Library. More information can be found on the website seen on your screen. Boulder's Department of Community Vitality initiated the Hill Commercial Alley Enhancements Plan to look at how the city could best use the alleys located at University Hill as better places for pedestrians and bicycle circulation. One of the things the city found was that the alleys were not very well lit.
The city currently by code requires a safety light over the rear entrance to every building, and what that was doing was creating these hot spots of light so that when employees were taking out the trash at night, they were going from a very bright space to a very dark space. And they said they'd love to have more even lighting across the alleys so that it would be safer at night.
After taking a look at the alley's existing conditions and existing code requirements, the city came up with a pilot for private property owners.
We're piloting something on the Hill where private property owners can put in lighting on the rear entrances of the building, across the backs of the building, that will create a nice even spread of light.
The city hopes that installing these new light fixtures will increase safety in the alleyways and will provide the public with another way to get around the district.
The city is piloting the grant program to try to encourage property owners to take advantage of this opportunity to provide better lighting by providing the property owners through a grant program with dark skies compliant, low energy usage LED fixtures.
The city will be offering the new LED light fixtures to those who are shown on the Alley's Enhancement Plan through December 31st.
These will be available by agreement with the city that they will install it in such a way so that the lighting levels go down to zero on adjacent properties and that they meet all of the city requirements.
More information on the Hill Alley's Enhancement Plan can be found on the website seen on your screen. Last year, the city celebrated the 50th anniversary of the open space sales tax. This historic and innovative measure has helped the city create today's 45,000 acres of open space and mountain park system. This week at the Pro Street Mall, Boulder dedicated its 13th Interpretive History panel to commemorate this initiative. These panels along the Pro Street Mall display small glimpses into Boulder's history. On October 10th, the city dedicated a new display panel on the northeast corner of Broadway and Pearl. The interpretive panel is titled Looking Back at Planning Ahead and features the 1967 municipal election when residents approved a 1-cent sales tax increase for transportation improvements and open space purchases. Boulder Mayor Suzanne Jones was in attendance, along with council member Cindy Carlisle. Also in the celebration of the new display panel was Ruth Wright, a big influence in the creation of this sales tax 50 years ago.
We put on a great campaign, the Citizens for Open Space. We really won that election. And so then we started getting in money for purchase of open space. And now we have 45,000 acres, and we have the entire mountain backdrop. Nobody can build on the mountain backdrop.
Historic Boulder is getting into the Halloween spirit as one of its signature events returns to the Columbia Cemetery. The community is invited to come out and watch as history comes alive at the Meet the Spirits event on Sunday, October 21st. There's a lot of history in Boulder that lies deep underground. The public is invited to join Historic Boulder as they travel back in time to resurrect some of Columbia Cemetery's most prominent and permanent residents.
People will have just about 30 spirits who are coming to life for one afternoon. They'll be dressed in period dressed, and they'll be at their own grave markers coming to tell the story of their life. And through that, you're going to learn a lot of Boulder's early history.
Meet the Spirits is not only a lesson in history, it's also a way to raise money for cemetery conservation efforts.
We feel that the more you know about the people that were buried here and their life stories and how they shaped Boulder, the more you'll care about preserving this piece of history.
The Columbia Cemetery became a historic landmark in 1977. People buried here are the people who shaped Boulder, some of which will be seen at the event, including CU's first female professor, Mary Rippon.
But she had a secret, and it was a secret that she took to her grave, and it was a secret that she needed to keep in order to keep her job at the university. So her story is a story of women's inequality at that time in the workplace, and it's one that needs to be told.
Other infamous graveyard inhabitants include Eben G. Fine and Boulder's Jane Doe, a murder victim that remained unidentified for 5 decades.
There's a lot of sadness around her story. And years later, historian Sylvia Pettum put in years of research to find her identity. And if you come, you'll hear her tragic story, but it's also a story of the community coming together and caring about somebody.
Don't miss Meet the Spirits on Sunday, October 21st from 12 to 5 p.m. at the Columbia Cemetery. Tickets for the event can be purchased on historicboulder.org. Don't be surprised this weekend if you see Boulder police officers waiting your table. It's all for a good cause. Community members are invited to come out and support their Boulder Police Department for their annual Tippy Cop Fundraiser. Members of the police department will serve as waitstaff to support Special Olympic athletes in Colorado. All proceeds will go directly to the organization. The fundraiser will be held on Saturday, October 13th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Lake Peep, located at 2525 Arapahoe Avenue. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's edition of Inside Boulder News. If you have pictures, news tips, or events you'd like to see featured, we'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. You can also sign up to receive video updates right in your inbox. Just go to boulderchannel8.com and click on subscribe. Have a good week.